Ladies and gentlemen, let's take this rare opportunity and learn computer network. Computer network describe computers which are connected. Computers which are connected. Now, in this introduction of the topic, this topic is going to be introduced by Mr. Kichui. Now, let's look at what is computer network. What is computer network? Now, computer network is a connection of two or more computers for data and resource sharing purposes. Now, when you are to define computer network, one of the key terms that you should always pay attention is using the term connection. At times students make a mistake and say it's a collection. No, it is not a collection, but it is a connection, not collection, of two or more. We talk of two or more computers for data and resource sharing purposes. So those are objectives, that we connect computers for data and resource sharing purposes. So look at that. Now, when you are talking of computer network, because we talk of connection, here are nodes, two nodes, of which one you can label it as node A, and the other we can label it as node B. Now, the two here are not connected. They are standing independently, and with this they can't communicate unless we place there a media which may either be physical or wireless to enable them share data. And with that, we have to introduce a medium, and that medium describe the connection, and you can make two nodes connected. Now, what is a node? Because at times you may be unfamiliar with that term node, but it's a common term used in networking. Now, a network node is a connection point that can receive, create, or store, or even send data along distributed network routes. Now, when you look at a node here, it can create data item to transmit, or it can receive communicated information from B. A can create and send, but it can also receive. And store. All these describe the nature of nodes that are to be connected in the network. Now, a node can be a computer that you are used to, like this one here is a computer, can act as a node. But the other can be a server, just a server which is there to hold the information and monitor other devices connected to the network. But also, a node can be a phone, like a smartphone. It can also stand to be as a node. Or it can be a printer. A shared printer can be connected to the network for the purpose of sharing by the rest of the nodes. Now, this is a network that we are going to talk about. So pay attention as we start with this part 1 of computer networking. But furthermore, you can always get some of this information we are discussing here. There is this book here called Direct Points, the examiner's words. This book will enable you have all the notes well summarized with also questions in each and every after a topic, and at the same time there are questions and answers at the end for both mocks and the UNEB questions. This one is for practical, known as the bulldozer. Let's continue. Now let us look at types of computer networks. Types of computer networks. Now you may be asked to list down types of computer networks. You need to know in the first place, but apart from knowing, you need to prepare for an examination. Now if you have to prepare for an examination, look here, we have this type of personal area network. Personal area network, mark that clearly. And we have local area network, we have campus area network, we have metropolitan area network, and we have wide area network. Now it is important to mark these points very well, because the nature of examination can tell you, can you write down any two? Can you list down any 2 or any 3 or any 4 types of computer networks? Here they are. You should be able to list them. Personal area network in bracket PAN. But there is another form of asking questions. They can tell you write PAN in full in relation to computer network. So you should be knowing that. They can ask you to write LAN in full. They don't talk about local area network, but they simply know that a person who have read computer network well, when he looks at LAN, can simply understand that here we are talking about the local area network, or CHAN, or SAN, or CAN, campus area network, or MAN, metropolitan area network, and finally WAN. These acronyms are upon you to look through, master them, be able to list, but at the same time to provide them in full in case they are given out in an abbreviated form. Now next, let's look at the definition of each of the types of computer network. Now when you look at PAN, or personal area network, what is personal area network? Now personal area network is a computer network used for communication among computer devices close to one person. Now this description is very important to show close to, because it's a network that covers a very small geographical area that is close to one person. So it is not a big network. Now with that, when you are defining personal area network, there are key terms that you need to note so that an examiner can really notice that you are describing personal area network, or else you may be off the point and your definition may lose sense in the actual item you are trying to describe. Now because we are talking about personal area network, something personal, it is something small, and to show the smallness of the network itself, you should show by saying it's a computer network used for communication among computer devices, because these are computer devices connected, of course, but you should be able to show that the connection is close to one person, and you should give examples: a printer, fax machine, telephone, or scanner. And the diagram here shows clearly these devices which are connected just in a close range, usually using Bluetooth as a medium, as we are going to look at it later. So you should be able to describe personal area network that way. And usually you'll find a computer or two connected, other devices like a printer, a phone, or external storage device, and so on, just within a small range. That's what we are talking about, personal area network. And you must mark it very well and look at the examples being used, else you may go off topic or off point and you lose the marks. Next, we look at LAN or local area network. What is local area network? Now, a local area network is a network covering a small geographical area. A small geographical area. Now, the use of the word small is essential when you are talking about local area network, that it's a network covering a small geographical area. But that smallness is of what extent? You must show the limit of that smallness. Now, the smallness or the geographical area is like a home, an office, or a building. So any network with such kind of coverage, just a home, your home, or an office, just an office, or a building, a single building, can describe clearly to be a local area network. Look, here is a room, something similar to a computer lab or a computer lab, and there are several machines, but these machines, all these computers, are within a room. Now, making a connection, any connection that makes these machines able to communicate, which is a network, that is local area network. They are widely spread. You can't compare this with the personal area network where there are just a few devices, but here there are several machines which are connected but in one room. This one can clearly be described as a local area network. Local area network. Now, when we proceed, we find that we also have campus area network, or CAN, campus area network. Now, what is campus area network? This one is slightly larger compared to local area network. This one is larger. Now, how does it look like? In description, it is a network that connects two or more LANs, or local area network, two or more local area networks, but that is limited to, that word limited to a specific geographical area. It is limited to a specific geographical area, such as a college campus. A college can be like a school. It can be a big school with a big campus, which involves several buildings in the campus, or it can be an industrial complex or a military base. Now, here it shows that there are several local area networks within different buildings, of which these local area networks, which are several distributed in several buildings, are connected. Those local area networks are also connected to form a campus area network. So when you are describing a campus area network, you need to show it clearly that it's a connection that connects. It is a network that connects two or more local area networks, or two or more LANs, local area networks, but that is limited to a specific geographical area, such as college campus, industrial complex, or military base. Now, where are you likely to fail here? To give wrong limitations in these examples. For instance, here we are talking of college campus, but if you make a mistake by saying like a building, or like a room, there you make a point off and you'll never be understood. So you need to be very careful to mark that here are not two or more computers, but two or more LANs, two or more local area networks, apart from the other kind of networks which talk of two or more computers. But here we are talking of two or more local area networks in a campus are being connected together. So you need to mark that point very clearly. So when you look at example of this, look at this campus here. There are several buildings distributed along the campus. So we assume that there are many floors in each building, and there are machines which are connected, and all these networks in different rooms, local area networks in different rooms, they may at times need to be connected together, and they can form a campus area network. Now, let us look at another definition: metropolitan area network. Man, what is metropolitan area network? A metropolitan area network is a network that connects two or more local area networks, or campus area networks, together, but it does not extend beyond the boundaries of an immediate town, city, or metropolitan area. Now, here you can talk of a network covering the entire city, a city like Kampala, a city like Nairobi, or Dar es Salaam. Or we talk of any city we may think of, but which is larger than a campus, taking several campuses, all their networks within, which may be covering across the city, and make a connection, and that one will form a metropolitan area network, because the area is large. Now, who forms this metropolitan area network, such a huge network? This could be a company with several branches. Assume a company has maybe several campuses, and they are well spread across the city, and that will necessitate them to form what you call metropolitan area network, because they need to communicate, they need to work together. So much as they are well spread across the city, but they will have to find a way of centralizing the administration and the way of communicating or working together within the company. So this network is essential to enable such kind of activities. So look, here assume you have several networks distributed around the city, Here you have a LAN, you have a LAN, you have a LAN, or you can call it a CHAN. All that, when they are connected, they will form a metropolitan area network, because it covers something beyond the campus. Now, lastly, let's look at wide area network. One, wide area network. Now, wide area network is a data communications network that covers a large geographical area. Large. Now, when you are describing a wide area network, that term large geographical area is very essential to use, because this kind of network is big. It is big, but big at what extent? It covers an area such as a country, an entire country, a country like Nigeria, country like Tanzania or Uganda. You make a network of that size, can be eligible to be called wide area network. But it can also cover the entire continent, or at times the whole world. So all these kind of networks are being described as a wide area network. Now, in your definition, you need to be much carefully, because you may miss up terms. Some students will talk of large geographical and they give an example of a city. It will not make sense when you are talking about the wide area network. And here is where students, you need to be very careful. You talk of large geographical area as you are describing a wide area network, you must give such examples of coverage of a country or a continent, and there your definition will make sense. You do something out of that, you will find your marks being reduced or completely getting a 0 in that point. So you must be very careful when you are making this kind of definition. You must show the way you understand. You must expose your knowledge thoroughly for you to obtain marks in such kind of information. Now, the demonstration is here. You have the whole world here in the map, and the buildings are showing that they are covering the entire continent, the entire world. It's connected. And these companies, you can have companies which are distributed the whole world, or the entire country, the entire continent. Now they will find a way of communicating. So they will not just sit there and they don't make a network, and a network of that form will be described as a wide area network. A wide area network. Now with that, we can look at these questions. You can wind up with this small part, but look at these questions and answer them critically. Where you are asked to define a computer network, you need to be able to define a computer network. Write the following abbreviated terms in full. You should be able to write them in full, and briefly describe any 5 types of computer network. Any 5 types of computer networks. Now, when we go to part 2, pay attention and keep on liking, subscribing to our YouTube channel. There you will be able to enjoy several parts that are coming, and you will be able to learn without pressure. You will be able to learn by playing and playing again. So these parts are coming in different topics, so be watchful, and you can always contact us following those contacts. You can also visit us in Mukono and understand more of what we are doing. We can even pack for you more videos on your CD. or your flash disk or your laptop or your external hard disk. Please, thank you very much for listening.